everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been a hot minute since I've recorded a video and done something for you guys. If you were watching my video the last time, I kind of hinted that I was gonna be wanting to do kind of an S braid. It's not a super complicated kind of tutorial. It's kind of like the Dutch braid that I showed you guys how to do. It's just figuring out how to hold your hands differently so that the braid travels with you. It's a super cute style. It's cute on little girls, it's cute on adults, it's cute on like prom styles. It's adorable. It's like one of the cutest styles that I can possibly think of that's like super easy to do too. So if you haven't checked out my videos, you should totally check those out. And please subscribe to my channel and hit that little notification button so that you guys can get notified when I make videos, because I kind of suck at a schedule right now, so it's kind of hard to figure out when I'll get those done. I am going to try to get better about that though, so that my content keeps getting up and I keep getting a little bit more people. So we'll see. So yeah, I have a different mannequin with me today. This one doesn't have a name. Her name is not Jen or Mannequin. I think I want to call her Tracy, just because, you know, I can. They're my mannequins, I can name them. So this is just an old style that I did on her probably a good 6 or 7 months ago. Just to braid up the back. I was bored with her, and so, you know, I did something. So yeah, we'll be using her today to show you the S braid. So that'll be super fun. So let me get her hair taken down and get that braid brushed out and make sure there aren't any tangles in her hair, because she's kind of been sitting for a while, so she might be a little sketchy. Alright, there we go. All brushed out, all pretty, all sleek and shiny. I'm going to give her a side part so that it's a little bit easier to kind of start off the braid. So I kind of want it to be about right here. Once I get her parted, I'll kind of show you guys what you need to do this style. It's not a whole lot. It's actually a super simple one. So it's super easy. Okay, so you can kind of see what I did there. Just kind of gave her a deep side part about right there so that you have a place to start the braid. And it'll kind of start the way I did the start of that other tutorial that I did, or the braid part of that other tutorial, where it starts at your part and goes sideways. So that's how this S braid will begin. And I'll get to that in just a second, but I wanted to show you guys just kind of what you need. So not a whole lot. I usually use a twist pin. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but a twist pin is basically just a bobby pin that you like put in the hair. Oh, Milo, are you sneezing? Goofy dog. Anyway, so it's just like something you put in the hair, but instead of being like a bobby pin, it's only one straight line. It only has that one spot of contact. This has multiple in different parts, so it allows for a little bit better of a connection between the parts that you're trying to hold together. So like when we get to the bottom of the S braid, I'll show you guys what I mean by that, and then I'll use the twist pin how I'm trying to explain, because my words are apparently not coming to me very well today. So we'll work with it. It's all good. So yeah, you need the twist pin, and then obviously a ponytail, or you can use a rubber elastic, just whatever you feel like you need to use to hold the hair at the bottom. Because you only need one, because the way that the S braid works is it's a singular braid curving down the head. Okay, so we've got Miss Tracy all brushed out and all pretty. I won't be curling her today because she already has some texture built into her synthetic hair so that she is easier for styling. She is specifically a styling mannequin. This is for like braids, for updos, for anything that doesn't require heat to your hair, because heat would melt her hair. If I had my flat iron plugged up right now, I would show you guys kind of what it does to her hair, but you get the gist. It literally melts like a piece of plastic, because that's what it is. So we won't be heat styling her, so it won't take nearly as long to do this one. So we'll get to it. All right, we'll kind of want to tilt her a little bit. Hopefully that stays. If it doesn't, we'll just fix it again. Okay, so like I said, you kind of start the braid how you would have started. Tilt her a little forward so you guys can see. Start the braid about where we started that last one, with the twisted updo. So it's just right about there. Section the hair into 3 sections, just like that. And just like I showed in the Dutch Braid tutorial at the first one, you should totally check that out if you haven't, by the way. I look rough, I'm gonna warn you right now. I don't look much better today just because it's been super muggy and I've been outside pretty much all day. So I look a little sketchy right now. But I look even sketchier in the other one because I was coloring my hair and I had no makeup on. I also had a swimsuit on and I did not have this nor this. So yeah, it was a little rough. So, but you should totally go check that out. Just fair warning, I look like a hobo. It's bad. But yeah, so we'll kind of rehash that just so you guys can kind of get the gist of it. So the way I do it is I take the middle piece and I go toward my right. And I go over that right piece, which now is the middle of the 3. So kind of, her hair is really dark, so it's kind of hard to see if you can see that. But yeah, so the middle piece that was in the middle before is now the right piece, and the right piece is now the middle piece. Get it? I hope so. Okay, so now that middle piece that was the right piece goes over the left piece, so that the left piece is now the new middle. Can you guys see that? I can't even tell. Like, I don't even know. We'll figure it out. It's all good. So yeah. And then you just kind of repeat that process. So the new middle piece now goes back over the right piece so that the right piece is now the new middle. Okay. And so this is where it kind of gets interesting. So I'm going to undo that. And before I move that middle piece back over that right piece, I'm going to grab another section of hair. Just like this. Yeah, so just like that. And then you smooth it out because you want it to be super smooth and super tight for this one so that it stays pretty close to the head. So that the only thing that's puffed about this style is the braid. So yeah, you'll want to keep your hands fairly close to the head if you can, because that'll make it so much easier to go around and get it how you want it to look. So try to keep it as tight as you can. Okay, so now we're going to take that middle piece and go over that entire right piece, so that you're feeding hair in as it's going to the middle. So we're going to do that again, and I have that middle piece resting on my thumb so that I can grab hair from the front right here to add into that left piece. And then that middle piece that's resting on my thumb is going to go over, and that's going to make this one the new middle piece. This is really hard to do sideways. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we just keep doing that process, and you don't want to try to go down, like down the head. You want to try to just go straight, because once you get about to, I'll show you guys in a minute, but once you get about to right here, you're going to start kind of curving it. I'll show you what I mean in just a second so you guys can kind of see it, okay? So we take another section, and you want to make sure that this front section is really clean, really precise, because it just makes everything else easier once you get to that back part and are doing the wave with it. So the cleaner you can keep your sectioning on the top, the better. I know it's hard for some people to grow their fingernails out, but if you can at least grow your pinky nail out, I don't know how well you guys can see that. If you can at least grow it out enough that you can kind of scoop hair with it, then that'll make your life so much easier. You won't have to use a tail comb all the time to make your sections clean. And it doesn't make it look like ridiculously clean. It's just like, you know, organically clean, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, that was a really confusing description, but you know what I mean. Like, it just makes it easier to clean up your sections without actually having to grab another tool, because I like simplicity. I only like being able, I only like having to use a rubber band, a twist pin, and a brush for this. Like, it's not a complicated process, I promise. Whew, and you guys will have to excuse the sniffles. I've been having allergies so bad this week, it's not even funny. So yeah, if I sound like I'm sick, I promise I'm not. It's just Arkansas weather hates me right now, so it's all good. Okay, so anyway, so we'll just keep doing that, and I'll try to keep it kind of slow for you guys so you guys can kind of watch. And as I get further down her head, I will kind of twist it so that I can still braid easily, but hopefully so that you guys can still kind of see it, okay? So we'll just kind of have to finagle her around and figure out how that works. So you guys can kind of see that I'm using my pinky to just kind of clean up that section. I don't know if you guys can really see that. Yeah, see, it's not like super clean right here, but it's clean enough that it'll make the bottom part pretty darn easy to grab in cleaner sections. Okay, so we'll just keep going. All right, so we're about to the part where I kind of want to start turning it to go the other way. So I'm going to grab this final piece and bring that to the middle. And this is where I want to kind of turn her head a little bit, if she'll work with me without turning the whole pedestal. I hate this thing. I gotta get a new one. Come on, work with me here. Yeah, good enough. Okay, so I don't know how well you guys can really see her braid right now, but hopefully it's there. So we'll just go with it. So yeah. So the way that I usually do it, just to make sure that everything is tight, including, oh, this is super awkward, including the braid and the hair right next to her head, I'll usually wait until I actually get the hair started going this way before I kind of go back and pancake. So that ensures that when you're pancaking, you're able to hold the tension, so it holds the hair that you're not wanting puffed down. And it just makes the style look a lot cleaner and a lot easier to manage. So we'll do that. We'll kind of get it started going around the opposite way. And this whole part is mostly just your sectioning. So obviously you're trying to keep these side sections kind of the same as they usually are. You kind of want to go just a teensy bit lower with it as you're kind of wrapping around the head. And there will be a couple spots in here where you're not grabbing a whole lot of hair. It's just to kind of help anchor it to the head. So like, see, this section right here is right where I'm about to start curving it. And so this part is not really adding hair, it's just anchoring it. So that will go with that section, and then kind of curve it around. And so this is where it really starts to turn, and you guys will kind of notice that as we're going. Okay, and it'll be the same thing for this next little section of hair on the upper side of this feed-in braid. It's just to anchor the braid to the head. It's not to add any extra bulk or anything. It's only to anchor it. Okay, and the way that you usually want to do this side is you don't want to go straight back, like straight back from the ear. You want to go kind of up because you're going to be using this hair once you get back down the other way. So this will be the hair that's attached to the braid that's going this way. So you kind of want to use an upper motion on that section right there. Okay, and now this will be the fun part of trying to figure out how we make this easier for you guys to see. Okay, so I'm going to pause right here and kind of hold her tight so you guys can see. Yeah, there we go. You can see the braid. And like I said, kind of going up on that section instead of straight. So that just makes it easier. And you see kind of what I did, like right in, where's my hand? Kind of right in here. It's not a whole lot of hair you can see going into the braid. It's just enough. It's just like a tiny little wisp of a hair almost. It's like really tiny sections. And that's only to anchor the braid to the head. And that will just make your style so much cleaner. It'll make it a lot easier to puff out too, because you won't be pulling sections away from the head. You'll just be fluffing them. So it just keeps the whole style so much cleaner if you just use those tiny sections when you're curving it. So I'm going to fluff her real quick, and then I'll get to showing you guys how to do this back section part. So just give me like 2 minutes, maybe. And if you're having trouble with one particular section that keeps fluffing up with the excess hair, it's usually that loose section that you're not really holding on to much, so you can usually just kind of like brush it down, and it'll kind of calm back down. So if you're doing this style on an actual person or on yourself, I do recommend crimping. But when you're crimping, don't go all the way to the scalp, because the scalp area, you're probably going to want to crimp about 2 inches away from the scalp, because that scalp area is what's going to be seen the most outside of the braid. And if it looks crimped, then it can look a little weird sometimes. And yes, the braid will look crimped a little bit too, but if you get like one of those micro crimpers, And you could probably find them at Walmart or Sally's, or heck, even online, just like one of the 1-inch micro crimpers. Those are really good for braided styles. Like, oh, they're my favorite just because they're so awesome. I can't get over it. Sorry, fangirled out there for a second. Anyway, so we'll get back to the braiding. So hopefully you guys we'll hold her about right there, and then we'll kind of twist her a little bit so you guys can see what I do. Okay, so I just take a really thin but long section from the top area right here. So this is another one that's not a whole lot of hair. It's mostly there just to anchor it, but it is starting to get those thicker sections going this way so that it has more bulk as you're going back. So yeah, so we're going to do that. And then this is the part where it gets kind of interesting with the sections right here. So you do want to, that point that you started going up with, you don't want to go any further down than that. So you're going to want to kind of use that as your starting. You guys see what I did? See, it's kind of like it's a really tiny little triangle just right there that kind of helps you move the braid a little bit, but still anchor it to the head so that it doesn't twist. Because if you don't add hair every single time, I swear, if this mannequin falls off this table one more time, I'm going to toss her across the room. Tracy, you're killing me. Come on. Work with me here, you dumb mannequin. Oy, oy, oy. Sorry, guys. I've really got to get a better setup for this. I'm working on it. I got a ring light, which is why you can actually see me right now, because outside it's really not that bright. It would be very rough if I didn't have this ring light on. Crap. I don't even know what I was saying. We'll just forget about it. Anyway, so, oh yeah, you don't want the braid to twist. And so if you're not adding hair in every time you are moving to another section, then your braid will twist and it'll end up looking really weird. Like, it doesn't look like a normal braid when it happens that way. Okay, so you guys can kind of see that. And you see, I'm not really taking a whole lot on the bottom here. So the main bulk is coming from this top section right here underneath that top braid. And you kind of want to try to keep her hair in this part going straight down as it can. Because if you kind of turn it to where it's not naturally falling, it can make the hairstyle look kind of weird. And then the fluffing out is not as effective. And it just makes it a whole lot harder to make this back part look good if it's not like going straight down. So that will be the biggest issue. It's just you gotta kind of see how the hair is growing or how the hair is falling. Like if you're just doing this on a mannequin, it's really pretty easy to kind of follow where it's flowing down. So it's not too bad. Okay, so we're just going to kind of keep doing this part, and I'll keep turning it towards you guys so you can kind of see the progress I'm doing. And you can tell I'm not taking a whole lot off on the bottom. It's mostly the top here that's getting the bulk for the braid. Oh, one more thing. Sorry. Cleanliness is important for this. So if you have hair that keeps trying to get into the section that you're trying to put in, but you don't want it there, you really need to make sure that it's out of the way when you're braiding, or it's going to cause bumpiness on your style, and it can just end up looking really weird. So yeah, so just try to keep your braids as clean as you possibly can, and that will come with practice, learning to hold the hair tight while you're getting sections for it and stuff. So it just takes practice. Okay, speeding back up now. Thank you. Okay, so same thing that we did on the other side underneath this top braid. You're just taking tiny sections to kind of curve it around, but instead of just taking like little tiny sections underneath the braid kind of, you're going to be grabbing like skinny strands from this side, because you want all of the hair, sorry, my arm's in the way, you kind of want all of the hair included in this braid, because it is an updo. You want all of that hair out of someone's face. So this is going to get interesting, trying to show you guys how to do this. So I am actually going to undo her and flip her to the other side and see if I can move my hands with it without loosening the braid at all. So we'll see how this will work. Yeah, I'm going to register that under unqualified success. Okay, so you guys can kind of see it. I know it's really dark and I'm really sorry, so I'll kind of move it a little closer so you can see it. Okay, so as you can see, I just kind of took a tiny section and added it into that side. And we're doing the same thing as the other side, and so this piece right here is going to get a tiny little section of hair underneath it just to anchor. So this little piece right here is only to anchor. It's not adding any bulk to the braid. Then if you have a couple sections that get a little tangled, like this one kind of just did, you just grab your brush and kind of brush it out a little bit, and that'll make it easier to handle. Okay, so we're going to kind of speed this part up again too, just so we don't take a whole lot of time with this video, because I know the last one was long, and I'm sorry about that, guys. There was a lot to cover in that one, so it was sorry. Okay, so you can kind of see that's puffing right now, but don't worry about it. It'll kind of calm back down once you bring that other section up. Oh yeah, one more little tidbit. It's not super important if this section right here is going at the same angle as the other side, because it's all kind of going up and then going down, and so it kind of works all together. I'll show you guys the finished product and how it looks, and you'll kind of see that the angles that the hair that's going into the braid is at is not really going to affect the outcome of it per se. Yeah, so we'll keep going. It's the same process as this on this part as it is the very bottom part. So we'll speed this up and I'll kind of show you guys. You do take a little bit more hair from the bottom section than you do in this one, just because you're trying to get all the rest of this hair into the braid. So yeah, I'll just keep showing you guys that and keep turning her this way so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing to her braid piece by piece. And I know I'm really sorry I don't have a better setup for this, but we'll work on it. We will work on it, I promise. Okay, so speeding back up, thank you. Okay, so this is the part where it kind of gets interesting, because this is where the serious elegance in this style comes from. So, you notice I'm kind of going up with the braid now, or straight or slightly up. It's a little hard to tell. But as I'm braiding, I'm kind of keeping that same motion of kind of wrapping it around the head, sort of, because the way this is going to work is when I get braided all the way to the end. Mannequin, please don't fall. Please don't fall. Oh no, it's falling! Ah! Stupid mannequin! Get back on that table. Sorry. Gotta get a better stand for her. She's driving me cuckoo. Okay. So, my bad. So yeah, you kind of see I'm keeping that same motion of wrapping around the curvature of the head. Okay, so I'm getting to the tiny section that I can't really use right now, so I'm just going to kind of wrap that around her hair to kind of hold it in place for me. So this is just an S braid. So I don't know exactly how well you guys can see it, but it's just like a braid all the way down to the head, and usually if it's just laying down, it just rests on someone's shoulder, but you see it goes up there, and then it goes around behind that ear, goes around that way, up behind that ear, and then back to the top. So that's what she looks like from the front, that's what she looks like from the right side, and that's what she looks like from the left side. Okay, so she's super, super cute right now, but I'm going to pizzazz it up by doing a S Braid updo, kind of. It's not super complicated. So you just take this out section right here, the one that's going down, and you just kind of pancake that one edge. And you want to pancake it a good little bit, obviously without losing tension on the hair that's on the inside right here, so that it stays taut. And it'll make it a lot easier. Okay, and you don't really need to go all the way up to the very edge of, like, all the way up the braid with this. You just really want to do just that section that's kind of hanging down. And it doesn't have to look super, super pretty like this. You know, we're gonna be doing something fun with it anyway, so we'll just, yeah. And you do want to kind of clean up that end a little bit just to make it a little smoother, a little nicer, so that it kind of folds in better. Okay, so this is where we put the ponytail. And you want to try to do it in a way that's not super bulky because this is going to be in the middle of the updo part. And you actually kind of want to do it in a loop so it's a little easier to hold. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. So this is going to curve, but this is going to go underneath. Or no, it's going to go around on top, and then this is going to go underneath that. So see, it kind of creates a cute little flower. And then this is where the twist pin comes in. So you kind of just go underneath where you stopped, and you just twist it in like a screw. And then that will hold it in place. And if you feel like you need some more bobby pins to secure it, then you totally can get them. But they're not really necessary. So yeah, so that's the S Braid updo, and that's the S Braid. So thank you guys for watching my channel, or for watching this video today. It's greatly appreciated. If you just hit that thumb button, or that thumbs up button, the like button, and comment something down below. So I'm going to try to record some more, probably either tomorrow or whatever, and we'll get some more videos posted. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Greatly appreciated. Have a good night, guys. Bye!